BMW, getting chopped up, gonna do the hoop, make a new seat pan. Here we go. Okay, this is 1/4 inch ABS. It's just a scrap that I had. I'm gonna try to just get the basic shape. I'm gonna make a mold of this later to do on the vacuum form machine, but I need to get that shape. And then obviously this shape. We're gonna cut the frame off here later, but for now, let's do this. So that's the basic curve of the back part of the frame. Now I gotta work on the front. The tank's weird because it has like a kind of a weird gap. I'm gonna have to probably bow this in and match this. Getting there. Gotta get that to kind of come in a bit. Then I'll work on the rest. So I'm gonna make it bigger than I need to for the time being. So I want to mark how high it's gonna come up on the outside. But I don't think I want it to go all the way, so I'm gonna go probably about that high. So then we transfer this to here. Keep the center on the center mark. Let's go to there. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm just going to transfer this mark over. So I'm going to cut it a bit big just in case I need to shorten it. All right, now I'm going to take a big piece of pattern cardboard and trace the frame shape. The rest of this is scrap because we're cutting off the back. And that's going to go like this. And that's going to go like this. Right? Yeah, this is definitely too high. I don't like it. I'm going to make this way shorter. Anyway, I can transfer the basic shape to the plastic now and then do all the final stuff once it's in plastic. So I'm just finding the center here. I'm going to do the same where we mirror it and flip it. So one side is the same as the other side. Let's just draw a line. Yeah, this stuff's not easy to bend, so we'll use the sheet metal brake. So I'm gonna bend it there, fold it over, make sure that the left and the right are the same. Pretty bloody close. If you're wondering, this is like actually a upholstery, but it works better on cardboard, so it's electric scissors basically. Bought it for doing some upholstery stuff, but it doesn't work very well. Good, good, good. Let's shorten this up and transfer it to the plastic. Okay, so we can cut the basic shape out on the bandsaw real quick. Okay, so setting it on, you get the idea where it's going. I'm definitely going to shorten this a bit, and then I need to heat this up a little bit more now that it's been trimmed, and get it to sit right up against there. Well, there's the new shape. I heated it up and I got it to fit nice and snug at the front. So the idea is something like this. This obviously needs to be extended and rounded, but that's whatever. I'll do that after. But so the seat should fit right up there nice. I got to figure out how long it's actually going to be, figure out where that hoop's going, and move forward, I guess. So I've got this pan kind of fitted where I want. I trimmed the front down. It used to be way up high, but I trimmed it down to here. I'm going to cut off the frame at this point, 4 inches back from here. And then we're going to get the hoop in there and finish the back of this pan and get to work on the mold. All right, so we're gonna clean this up a little bit, and then 1 inch tube fits inside this. This is 1 1/8 outside, and it's 1 inch inside, so we'll make some little slugs, drill some holes for a couple of plug welds. I'm gonna get this tacked up for now. So if I set this hoop on that the guy supplied me with, obviously it's gonna be too long. So we're gonna trim this hoop down, slide it back over the slugs, and get the right length we're looking for here. That'll do it, I think, somewhere around there. Yeah, that kind of looks good. All right, gotta finish the back of this pan now. I'll cut that shape out and make one piece. So if you were watching earlier, the only reason this is short is because it was a scrap that I used. So technically you wouldn't have to do this every time. I'm just making it 2 pieces for now because this is not actually going to be the seat pan. This is just going to be the mold so I can make seat pans down the road. So I'm just going to attach this for now. This will figure out where the hoop needs to end and start and that kind of stuff. So we'll have to figure out where to trim it. And if I want to make it longer, I can still do that before I finalize the mold. This will be the length we're going for. So I did some measurements here. I need to cut the hoop. We're gonna put our slugs back in. We're gonna probably tack this up first, and then we'll get this hoop tacked on, and then we'll sort out the actual perfect length for the seat. I want it just to hang over the back of the hoop a little bit. We'll do the same on the hoop. We'll drill a couple holes in it and get it tacked in there. So plug weld each hole that we drilled earlier, drill holes in the hoop and do the exact same thing on the inside of the hoop. And then we'll do a bead around after once we make sure everything's exactly where we want it. On the hoop, I usually leave a gap, obviously, so we can, not this big of a gap, but a little bit of a gap to fill in with weld. Same deal though, we're gonna do plug welds on the inside. I'm gonna square it up first and then leave a little bit of a gap here so we can do a good bead later. So I added my back piece to my thing, and this is what I need to make a mold of now. A big fiberglass thing for the vacuum form machine. So if you didn't have to do that, you could have just made one pan and finished the seat and sent the customer on his way. But again, trying to make these for future. All right, make a giant mold and get back to work. I have to build a border around the entire pan because I need to fill this thing with fiberglass. It has to be super strong to withstand the pressure of the machine. So what I do is I make a frame basically, fill the bottom side with fiberglass, and when I'm done I should have a flat bottom mold. So I built the frame. I'm waiting, I just gotta tape this up. I'm gonna use like a silver flex tape to line it so the fiberglass doesn't seep down. And then basically we're gonna lay a lot of fiberglass, make this thing flat, strong, flip it upside down, and once we demold this, we got a perfectly smooth mold on the other side. Okay, so I've lined all the cardboard with that silver tape. So I'm gonna spray this whole thing with a mold release. I just trimmed up the tape so anything you see on this side will translate to the mold on the other side. So clean it up as best you can. Also, another trick I do is when I'm filling this with fiberglass, I don't need to fill it solid. It's a lot of resin, but you start filling it with chunks of wood. And then you lay a bit of glass, put some more chunks in, and that's gonna be super strong when we flip it over. Mold release. Okay, at this point I have several layers. This thing's probably at least a ½ inch thick. The wood's there. You'll see what happens when I pull this out because we take it out, flip it over, and it's the other side of the mold we actually use. And then I will cut it level, let this dry tonight, and then back at it tomorrow. All right, we're back. This mold is dry. Time to get it out of there. Okay, I just need to clean this up a little bit, but that's the mold, the solid one. That'll be used on the vacuum forming machine. I got the mold ready for the vacuum table. I drilled a few holes in it so the air gets sucked out, especially in the corners where I want. I marked my mount points so they'll show up in the base. Now, that's the reason I made this solid with wood and everything, because there's gonna be a lot of pressure coming down this thing. So let's give it a shot. There's a rough cut. Let's just test it out. Pretty good. I'm going to be using the existing mount holes that are in this frame, and I'm going to build a little hook that hooks under the tank, marked where the mounts are going to go. So that's the next step. Through 6mm. All right, so riveted, and they're recessed into the pan so they can't spin. M6 studs. Well, that'll work for sure. Nice. So, on to the front. So yeah, I've got these little tabs for the Royal Enfield GT seat, and they're already powder coated it, and it actually works. So I'm going to attach that and see if I need to tweak this at all, but it's got to be something like this. That's with the front tab in and one in the back. It's got a little bit of flex here, but we haven't done the upholstery yet, or the bottom of the pan, which gets a layer of like carpet. So that'll take up the extra slack. So this thing, once it's bolted down tight, It'll be sitting right on the frame. So that's the front hook. Okay, I'm just gonna set it on here. It's gonna be something like this. Okay, the cover's on. I haven't stapled anything yet. I put elastic on the bottom. I usually do this on these curved ones. So I'm gonna put some staples in there soon. Let's go see. I gotta clean all the chalk still. See how it fits in here. Get that front piece in. That looks like something already, man. Let's clean this thing up, bolt it down. Finish the bottom. Should be good. Put the studs back in. I'm not sure if I'm going to use studs or bolts yet, but I usually do studs. That way you don't got to take them in and out all the time and avoid cross-threading. So the front mount is ready to go. Back to be like that, and then we'll put on the lock nut. All right, that's just finger tight. It's sitting right down. That's nice. It's not moving anywhere now. So this is my first prototype anyway. I gotta clean this with some leather care type stuff and then take some other pictures, but pretty cool. So this was a distressed black with dark gray stitching. This is what he wanted. This was like, obviously you watched the video, this is the first one. This stuff wears in really nice. It cleans up really nice as well.